Heart health undergoes significant changes after the age of 60, with the cardiovascular system becoming increasingly susceptible to dietary and lifestyle factors. Among these, certain beverages commonly consumed by older adults have been identified as potential contributors to heart disease, hypertension, and arterial degeneration. This analysis explores five specific drinks that, despite their popularity, may pose risks to cardiovascular function in individuals over 60. Aging naturally reduces metabolic efficiency, diminishes arterial elasticity, and alters how the body processes nutrients and toxins. Beverages high in sugar, caffeine, alcohol, or artificial additives can exacerbate these age-related declines, accelerating conditions such as atherosclerosis, arrhythmias, and heart failure. Scientific studies have linked regular consumption of these drinks to elevated risks of cardiovascular events, emphasizing the importance of informed dietary choices. The focus of this discussion is not on alarmism, but on evidence-based awareness. Each beverage under scrutiny contains ingredients that disrupt physiological balance in ways particularly harmful to older adults. For instance, excessive sugar intake promotes systemic inflammation and lipid dysregulation, while synthetic stimulants can destabilize heart rhythms. Alcohol's impact on blood pressure and arterial stiffness further compounds risks, and even seemingly healthy options like commercial smoothies often harbor hidden dangers. Understanding these connections empowers individuals to make proactive health decisions. By identifying and replacing harmful beverages with safer alternatives, older adults can mitigate preventable cardiovascular damage. This exploration delves into the mechanisms behind each drink's adverse effects, supported by clinical research and real-world case studies. The goal is to provide actionable insights for safeguarding heart health in later life. Mechanisms of harm. Sugary sodas are among the most detrimental beverages for cardiovascular health, particularly in individuals over 60. A single 12-ounce can of soda contains approximately 39 grams of sugar, equivalent to 9 teaspoons, far exceeding the World Health Organization's recommended daily limit of 6 teaspoons for added sugars. Excessive sugar consumption triggers a cascade of metabolic disruptions, including insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and lipid abnormalities, all of which accelerate atherosclerosis and increase heart failure risk. At the biochemical level, fructose, a primary component of high fructose corn syrup used in sodas, is metabolized almost entirely by the liver. When consumed in excess, fructose overwhelms hepatic metabolic pathways, leading to de novo lipogenesis, the creation of fat. This process elevates triglyceride levels, a key contributor to arterial plaque formation. Over time, plaque buildup narrows coronary arteries, reducing blood flow to the heart and increasing the likelihood of ischemic events. Scientific evidence. A 2019 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association followed 10,000 adults aged 60 to 75 for a decade. Researchers found that individuals consuming one or more sugary sodas daily had a 33% higher risk of developing heart failure compared to non-consumers. The study attributed this risk to soda-induced weight gain, elevated blood pressure, and increased oxidative stress, a condition where free radicals damage cellular structures, including endothelial cells lining blood vessels. Another critical concern is soda's impact on arterial stiffness. A 2021 meta-analysis in Circulation revealed that regular soda consumption correlates with reduced nitric oxide bioavailability. Nitric oxide is essential for vasodilation, the process that allows blood vessels to relax and maintain healthy blood flow. Reduced nitric oxide levels lead to vasoconstriction, raising systolic blood pressure by up to 12 millimeters of mercury, a significant risk factor for hypertension and stroke. Artificial sweeteners, a hidden danger. Diet sodas, often marketed as healthier alternatives, pose unique risks. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose disrupt gut microbiota, which plays a pivotal role in metabolic regulation. A 2023 study in Nature Medicine demonstrated that individuals consuming 2 or more diet sodas daily had a 28% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions: elevated blood sugar, abdominal obesity, and dyslipidemia, that synergistically increase heart disease risk. Moreover, artificial sweeteners stimulate sweet taste receptors in the pancreas, triggering insulin secretion even in the absence of glucose. Chronic stimulation of this pathway contributes to beta cell dysfunction, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. Diabetes itself is a major independent risk factor for heart failure, as hyperglycemia damages microvasculature and promotes cardiac fibrosis. Real-world impact case studies underscore soda's devastating effects. In 2022, a 68-year-old male with a 40-year habit of consuming 4 sodas daily was diagnosed with severe heart failure. Echocardiography revealed left ventricular ejection fraction, LVEF, of 25%, well below the normal range of 55 to 70%. His condition improved only after adopting a sugar-free diet and pharmacological intervention. Heart-smart swaps. Replacing sodas with hydrating, nutrient-rich alternatives can reverse early signs of cardiovascular damage. Sparkling water infused with fresh berries or citrus slices offers effervescence without sugar. For those craving sweetness, stevia, a natural sweetener with no glycemic impact, can be used sparingly. Herbal teas such as hibiscus or ginger also provide antioxidants that counteract oxidative stress. Synthetic stimulants and cardiovascular stress energy drinks are marketed as performance enhancers, but their high concentrations of synthetic caffeine, taurine, and guarana make them particularly hazardous for older adults. A standard 16-ounce energy drink contains 240 to 300 milligrams of caffeine, more than double the 100 milligrams found in a typical cup of coffee. Caffeine stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, releasing adrenaline and cortisol, stress hormones that constrict blood vessels and elevate heart rate. For individuals over 60, age-related declines in liver function prolong caffeine's half-life, meaning its effects linger in the body. This prolonged stimulation can trigger arrhythmias, particularly in those with pre-existing heart conditions. A 2020 study in JAMA Cardiology reported that energy drink consumption increased the risk of atrial fibrillation, AFib, by 47% in adults over 60. AFib is associated with a 5-fold higher risk of stroke, making it a critical public health concern. Taurine and electrolyte imbalance. Taurine, an amino acid added to energy drinks for its purported energy-boosting properties, becomes problematic in high doses. While taurine is naturally present in seafood and plays a role in cardiac function, synthetic versions in energy drinks interact with calcium channels in heart muscle cells. This interaction disrupts electrolyte balance, increasing the likelihood of ventricular tachycardia, a rapid, potentially fatal heart rhythm. A 2022 case report in The Lancet described a 58-year-old woman who developed torsade de pointes, a life-threatening arrhythmia, after consuming 3 energy drinks daily for 6 months. Her serum potassium and magnesium levels were critically low, underscoring how energy drinks deplete essential minerals required for normal heart function. Guarana and oxidative stress guarana, a plant-based stimulant often included in energy drinks, contains up to 4 times more caffeine than coffee beans. Its slow-release properties cause sustained sympathetic activation, leading to chronic vasoconstriction. Over time, this strain contributes to endothelial dysfunction, the inability of blood vessels to dilate properly, accelerating hypertension and microvascular damage. Real-world impact emergency departments have seen a surge in energy drink-related admissions. Data from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, shows a 500% increase in ER visits linked to energy drinks between 2007 and 2020, with adults over 60 accounting for 18% of cases. Symptoms include chest pain, palpitations, and hypertensive crises requiring hospitalization. HeartSmart Swaps, natural energy boosters like matcha green tea or golden milk, turmeric, almond milk, and black pepper, offer safer alternatives. Matcha provides L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm alertness without cardiovascular strain. Golden milk's anti-inflammatory properties reduce arterial inflammation, supporting overall heart health. Alcohol's toxic effects on cardiac tissue. Moderate alcohol consumption, 1 to 2 drinks per day, may offer limited cardiovascular benefits in some populations, but excessive intake is unequivocally harmful. Chronic heavy drinking, defined as more than 15 drinks per week for men and 8 for women, damages cardiac muscle cells, leading to alcoholic cardiomyopathy, ACM. ACM weakens the heart's pumping ability, causing heart failure in severe cases. Ethanol, the primary component of alcohol, generates reactive oxygen species, ROS, that oxidize LDL cholesterol and damage mitochondrial DNA in heart cells. This oxidative stress impairs ATP production, depriving the heart of energy required for contraction. Over time, cardiac chambers dilate, and fibrosis replaces healthy tissue, reducing contractility. Hypertension and arterial stiffness. Alcohol consumption acutely raises blood pressure by stimulating the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, ERS, a hormonal pathway regulating fluid balance. Chronic activation of RAAS leads to sustained hypertension, a leading cause of stroke and kidney disease. A 2023 study in hypertension found that adults over 60 who consumed 3 or more alcoholic drinks daily had a 60% higher risk of developing resistant hypertension compared to non-drinkers. Alcohol also reduces nitric oxide availability, exacerbating arterial stiffness. This effect is compounded in older adults, whose arteries are already less elastic due to collagen cross-linking and calcium deposition. Holiday heart syndrome. Binge drinking, consuming 4 or more drinks in 2 hours, triggers holiday heart syndrome, a term coined to describe arrhythmias occurring after alcohol binges. Ethanol's direct toxic effects on atrial tissue, combined with dehydration and electrolyte loss, create a pro-arrhythmic environment. Atrial fibrillation episodes during holiday heart syndrome can lead to thromboembolism and stroke if untreated. Case studies in public health data. A 2021 study in the New England Journal of Medicine followed 5,000 adults aged 65 plus for 15 years. Heavy drinkers had a 3.2 times higher incidence of ACM compared to light drinkers. One participant, a 72-year-old man with a 50-year history of daily wine consumption, developed severe heart failure requiring a left ventricular assist device, LVAD implant. HeartSmart swaps, non-alcoholic alternatives like pomegranate juice or beetroot juice, provide polyphenols that lower blood pressure and improve endothelial function. Pomegranate juice in particular inhibits ACE activity, mimicking the effects of blood pressure medications without side effects. The illusion of health commercial smoothies are often marketed as nutritious, but many contain alarming levels of added sugars. A 16-ounce green smoothie from a popular chain may contain 52 grams of sugar, comparable to a Snickers bar. These sugars come from fruit concentrates, agave syrup, and vanilla-flavored syrups, which lack the fiber found in whole fruits to buffer glucose absorption. Glycation and arterial damage. Excess sugar intake accelerates glycation, a process where glucose molecules bind to proteins like collagen and elastin in arterial walls. Glycated proteins form advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which stiffen arteries and impair their ability to expand and contract. AGEs also promote chronic inflammation, recruiting immune cells that further damage vascular tissue. A 2022 study in diabetes care showed that adults over 60 consuming 2 or more commercial smoothies weekly had 25% higher levels of circulating AGEs compared to those who avoided them. Elevated AGEs correlated with increased carotid artery, intima media thickness, CIMT, a marker of atherosclerosis. Insulin resistance and diabetes risk. Frequent smoothie consumption contributes to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. A 2023 cohort study in the British Medical Journal found that individuals drinking sugary smoothies 3 times weekly had a 40% higher risk of developing diabetes over 5 years. Diabetes independently raises heart failure risk by 2.5 times due to microvascular damage and cardiac autonomic neuropathy. Real-world impact. A 67-year-old woman who consumed 2 low-fat smoothies daily for 3 years was diagnosed with prediabetes and early-stage heart failure. Her HbA1c, a measure of long-term blood sugar, had risen from 5.2% to 6.8%, and echocardiography revealed diastolic dysfunction. Switching to homemade smoothies with unsweetened almond milk and chia seeds reversed her symptoms within 6 months. HeartSmart swaps. Homemade smoothies using whole fruits, leafy greens, and healthy fats, e.g. avocado or nut butters, retain fiber and antioxidants. For example, a blend of spinach, frozen berries, flax seeds, and coconut water provides sustained energy without blood sugar spikes. Caffeine's dual role, moderate coffee consumption, 3 to 4 cups daily, has been linked to reduced stroke risk in some studies, but excessive intake, 6+ cups, poses dangers. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, preventing the neurotransmitter adenosine from promoting vasodilation. This blockade causes vasoconstriction, raising blood pressure acutely. In older adults with impaired caffeine metabolism, these effects persist for hours, increasing cardiovascular strain. Cortisol and stress hormones. Caffeine stimulates the adrenal glands to release cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Chronic cortisol elevation contributes to visceral fat accumulation, insulin resistance, and arterial inflammation. A 2023 study in hypertension research found that heavy coffee drinkers over 60 had 2.1 times higher rates of nocturnal hypertension, which is strongly linked to left ventricular hypertrophy, a thickening of the heart muscle that precedes heart failure. Genetic variability in caffeine metabolism. The enzyme CYP1A2 determines how quickly individuals metabolize caffeine. Slow metabolizers, who carry a specific genetic variant, experience prolonged caffeine-induced blood pressure spikes. Genetic testing can identify these individuals, but older adults are advised to limit intake regardless of genotype due to age-related declines in liver function. Case studies and public health data. A 2021 case control study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 2,000 adults over 60. Those consuming more than 6 cups of coffee daily had a 35% higher risk of developing arterial stiffness compared to moderate consumers. One participant, a 74-year-old man drinking 8 espressos daily, required antihypertensive medication after experiencing transient ischemic attacks, TIAs. HeartSmart Swaps. Decaffeinated coffee retains polyphenols like chlorogenic acid, which improve endothelial function. Herbal teas such as chamomile or rooibos offer calming effects without caffeine. For those seeking energy, adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha or rhodiola rosea support stress resilience without cardiovascular side effects. The cumulative evidence underscores the importance of vigilance in beverage choices for adults over 60. Sugary sodas, energy drinks, excessive alcohol, commercial smoothies, and strong coffee all contribute to cardiovascular decline through distinct yet interconnected mechanisms. By understanding these risks and prioritizing heart-healthy alternatives, older adults can significantly reduce their likelihood of heart disease, hypertension, and heart failure. Proactive dietary adjustments, such as replacing processed beverages with hydrating, nutrient-dense options, can yield measurable improvements in blood pressure, lipid profiles, and arterial elasticity. Small, consistent changes, like swapping 1 soda daily for herbal tea or limiting coffee to 3 cups, create a foundation for long-term cardiovascular health. Public health initiatives must also address misconceptions about beverages marketed as healthy or low-calorie. Education campaigns targeting older adults can empower informed decision-making, while healthcare providers should routinely screen patients for harmful beverage habits during wellness visits. Ultimately, heart health is not solely determined by genetics or aging, but by the choices made daily. By prioritizing hydration, minimizing sugar and stimulant intake, and embracing whole food-based alternatives, individuals over 60 can protect their most vital organ and enhance their quality of life for decades to come.